Hundreds of evacuees living in Joe Rich outside of Kelowna are being allowed home today. Last night, crews were able to fully contain the Huckleberry fire that at its peak forced more than 240 homes to evacuate. A couple dozen homes remain on evacuation order tonight, but as Ted Chernecki reports, residents feel lucky that this time their homes were saved.
Even with most of the evacuation order lifted, there remains hundreds of hotspots requiring a steady stream of water trucks to keep up the fight.
I don't think you're going to be able to drive right in because last time I looked at your property, there was actually a hose going across. So we'll have to
One couple whose home narrowly missed the fire managed to get in to collect some clothing and to check on the family's chickens. That, as it turned out, were not roasted. It's hard to believe this was a very different scene not 48 hours earlier.
And then our dog starts to howling. Which is not an unusual thing, but this time they just didn't stop. They kept on going and going and going. And I went out to check if there's something in their kennel, but there was nothing. And then I turned around and I saw this whole area here, everything was just in black smoke and it was coming up like that.
Thanks to some precision bombing, every single building was saved.
I don't think that it really touched my property. It's not far away. No.
Like how far do you think?
No. Well, maybe from the property line, maybe 20 meters, 10 meters, maybe.
But even if the inferno had made that leap, his property was better protected than most, with his firewood stored away from the house and other landscaping he's done with a possible wildfire in mind.
You can see by what's burned what likely happened, although we don't know for sure, but all the burned areas to the right of the highway here, tossed the cigarette perhaps out the passenger side window. That may very well be how it started. Although they haven't confirmed that just yet, but it should raise awareness to anybody out there driving along our highways that a cigarette like that into this kind of tinder dry conditions will start a fire.
Yeah, I anticipate having crews here overnight again, probably more in a bit of a patrol phase. There's some tough ground up there. We don't want anyone falling off a rock face. But yeah, we're still on top of this thing. We'll still have people on site and definitely we'll have crews back tomorrow. Even though the fire's looking really good, there's still lots of hot spots in the middle. It's still going to take some time to put out. So I would anticipate we're going to have some people on the ground for days to come.
Until everyone is allowed back into their homes, the RCMP patrol the area to keep out looters. Ted Chernecki, Global News, near the outskirts of Kelowna.